International Tribute to Diane Watson Tribute Week. And we had yesterday the event at City Hall with Eric Garcetti, the mayor's office, and the city council honored started this international tribute. There have been many tributes given for the Congresswoman, but no Diane Watson international tribute. Many organizations like I think the YWCA or the different sororities, they're having their annual event, and she's been the guest of honor. But no organization from the international community, from the German embassy and the 23 nationalities that the Congresswoman represents, have honored her on her own event, the Diane E. Watson Legacy of a Phenomenal Woman event. So yesterday, the City Council with President Eric Garcetti, we started off with that. On Monday, there will be a wonderful event at Darcy High School, where the Congresswoman graduated from. That will be the astronaut Leland Melvin, who is the new head of NASA Education. There'll be representatives from the German Embassy, and there'll be a cyber hookup visit, virtual visit with South Africa. And Dr. Lowenstein, who founded this program that was the Congresswoman helped getting the funding for our young people within that generation of youth NASA ambassadors, young people from Fauché Learning Center and Dorothy will have a cyber hookup with South Africa and Canada. I will be doing the music once again, like yesterday, with the kids and with representatives yesterday from the Colburn Academy Music. And I was calling you, Mr. Jones, because the big gala on next Friday in Hollywood, our dates had to change a little bit, and that's why we're on such a short time frame. Yes, because at one point the Congresswoman's mother passed back in August.
Yes, and I send my deepest condolences.
When I'm in LA, I appreciate the Congresswoman's hospitality, so I had to help plan the music for that. And the team that was planning this, I said we got to stop being a steering committee and be friends.
Yes.
So we were, in the black folks, when somebody died, everybody's coming down, bringing chicken, sitting down, eating and talking. So we were just helpful to the Congresswoman, and after that, she had to go back to Washington because she was the co-chair for the Congressional Black Caucus. And yes. I was with Fred Hammond and other people helping with the music there.
Yes.
So they gave us these last days because the Democratic National Committee wanted to have events highlighting, high-powered Democrats, because she is one of the strongest in this whole area, if not in all of America. And so that's why we had a deadline to get it done before the election. And you had said you would be wanting to get some information, Mr. Jones, and we need people to help us sell tickets at this Hollywood event next Friday. And I was calling to see if we could exchange some thoughts about that.
Yes, ma'am, and we sure can. And could you please, what I'll do is I'm live on the show. Thank you for coming on the show, first of all. Thank you for coming on the show. And I want you to say hello, a big hello to the Congresswoman Diane Watson, and let her know that we love her and we adore her. It was such a pleasure to see you all yesterday at the President's speech. It was really, really nice, and I really enjoyed it very much.
Yes, well, thank you so much. And when we get off the open canal, then I can give you the telephone numbers where you can get in touch with our team. Okay, Mr. Jones, should I call you back after you leave your recording?
Yes, and I can't thank you enough. Can we clap it up for Brenda? Could you tell everybody your full name again and exactly what you do? Because they don't know, but I want everybody to hear you.
Well, I'm an opera singer. My name is Brenda Jackson. I've been based basically in Europe. I started at the Berlin Opera, and Berlin is the sister city to Los Angeles. And so that's how I met the Congresswoman about a dozen years ago. She was with a delegation from the Partners of Parliament, coming from you all's delegation here, from your political delegation, and met with delegation in our parliament in Berlin, Germany. And since I know people in that area, and they kept telling me the funny little story was years ago, back in the 90s, when Lady Di of England was still alive, and there was a man who was hosting the Los Angeles delegation, parliamentary delegation, political delegation, visiting the Berlin, Germany. Germany delegation. It was so funny. A colleague of mine who was the head of that, greeting you all people from LA, he came and he said, "You must meet the Lady Di, and she's just like you." And so, I speak fluent German, and so I was thinking, well, the Lady Di that I know, who's married to the Prince Charles of Wales, she is not like me. What do you mean? I thought he meant because she was maybe lady-like or something like that. He said, no, she's just like you. You will love her. She is one of my favorite people. And he was just going on and on and on about how he loved this Lady Di. And so I said, well, he says that I will be taking them on a diplomatic tour through the area, the diplomatic area where my home is, my home and my husband's home is. And so it was so funny when he brought the delegation by, and I was going to plan a garden party to receive them. This dynamic, tall, old black lady named Diane Watson walks into my home and takes over. "Hello, I am Diane Watson. I've heard that you're one of our people. You're singing at the Opera House." And since that day, we have become friends, and she's like a big sister to me. And everybody in Germany and all over America and the world loves her. And
Yes,
so
they do.
therefore, I've been singing a little bit more in the States recently due to illness of some of my family members. When I'm in LA, I connect with the Congresswoman. And so I wanted people to recognize that this great person, she is not just an African American, she is really a citizen of the world. And so I felt it my honor to be on an international committee, a Diane Watson committee, honoring her and recognizing that she represents us not only in our community, she represents us around the world, and they love her as much as Eddie Jones loves her, or the people that First AME Church love her, or the people at
Yes, my home church.
Pentecostal Church loves her, or the school children here at Darcy. And
Yes,
so,
my
that's
alma
why
mater.
we
We went to
really are
school.
wanting people to come to the Hollywood Gala at the Taglian Complex right near Hollywood and Vine. And we will give Mr. Jones all the information. We hope you all will come and support this next Friday, the 29th of October. There'll be music, there'll be wonderful entertainment, and great dignitaries, and we'll drop by to just once again pay tribute to this dynamic icon, this legacy of a phenomenal woman, Congresswoman Diane Watson.
Let's give it up for Congresswoman Diane Watson, and let's give it up for Brenda. Brenda, we thank you so much. Thank you, and right after the show, I'll be giving you a call. God bless you, and
Thank
please
you.
send all my
God bless
love
you.
to the Congresswoman. And as usual, I love it when I see her. She always gives me a humble hug, and I always get a little sugar off her cheek. She's a great woman.
She is quite a lady, and we really want to appreciate her. Look forward to talking with you, Mr. Jones.
And I also, in closing, I had so much fun sitting with you at the Staples Center watching How Sweet the Sound. How Sweet the Sound was really good.
That was wonderful.
And you and the Congresswoman made it even more wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you real
Okay.
soon, okay? All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Brenda, who was an opera singer, who is, every time I see her, her and the Congresswoman are always together. They're really good friends. Let's get back to Trina, because Trina, we're talking about the jail system, how it's railroading our young men, and how it's locking our young boys up for life. I mean, some of the charges don't even come to find out later. You have to file an appeal. You have to go to the appeals court. Then you have to file a habeas corpus in order so you can revisit the case, so you can find out where the officers were lying, or whoever was writing the report, where they lied in the report. And it happens all the time. But if you can't afford an appellate attorney, and if you can't afford to file a habeas corpus, and we're talking about thousands of dollars, and these attorneys don't play about their money. But then again, when they get their money, they don't always show up and do everything they say they're going to do. I have a problem with that. I think that whoever is over all the attorneys, the Supreme Court judge, needs to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Trina, your son was being treated wrong at Tehachapi prison.
Right. They keep putting them in the hole. They keep putting them in the shoe. My thing is, I just want, and I wish that's another thing, I just wish that, like, who would be the person that we need to talk to make sure that all prisons are being carried the way that it's supposed to. You
Well,
know,
let me,
if they have time and,
Yeah.
and they have all this time, let them do their time and they sell. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I don't think it's the prisoners that you have to worry about. It's the guards.
okay,
They're
well,
in there doing
let me
what-
tell you,
what-
let me tell you what we had to do. Miss Jones, the mother that you heard on the phone, I don't want to elaborate too much. Her son died in the jail system because they, you know, I can't really elaborate on it right now because it's in the courts right now.
Right.
But to make a long story short, I understand exactly what you're saying because when I did some work and we were able to, we did a press conference on her son losing his life in the men's central jail. We also went to the sheriff's department and we had a meeting with Lee Baca and we had a walkthrough of the men's central jail. The sheriff's department allowed us, because we're civil rights leaders. We're advocates for civil rights, along with the ACLU, which I commend for helping us to get inside that jail system and see what's going on. And let me tell you something. Of course, you know, when we came to visit, they're going to fix it up and clean it up a little bit, have everybody doing their job. But guess what? They got caught. The sheriffs got caught not writing down the proper time and just falsifying documentation and acting like they were doing a patrol and they weren't doing it. This young man laying up in the cell dead for who knows how long. But they said that they had been checking on him, and they ain't no way they were checking on him. He had trauma, blunt blows to his kidneys, his spleen was busted, his liver was tore up. They beat the heck out of that guy and killed him. And then, anyway, I don't want to go there. All I'm saying is none of our young men deserve that type of treatment in the jail system. Even a person in jail has rights too.
That's right.
You hired me.
So what do we need to do?
That's what I'm talking about now. What we're doing right now.
Can't we? Isn't there a law? Isn't there
Yeah, but guess what? First of all, in order to make that law happen, you need to come with me. We need all the mothers, because let me finish. We need all the mothers to come together. And we need to sign signatures. We need a bunch of signatures.
And that's what I want to do.
And that's what I want you to do, and I want to join you to do it. And I want Mr. Fred to join me. I want Big Money to join me, and everybody else. I want Lady Cage to join me, because the only way we can ever change the judicial system is if we take it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and so we would probably need maybe 2 or 3.
We need Congresswoman
Exactly.
Diane Watson to help us, because she has the authority at the White House. We need Congresswoman Maxine Waters to help us, because she has power. We need to go to the Congressional Black Caucus, and we need to go on the congressional floor in Washington, D.C., and we need to have our voices heard.
Okay, I need to say another thing, speaking on this. And also I want to add, you know, us black folks, we're all, you know, some of us are, you know, living in the South Bay area. So,
In South Bay area?
yeah, we live Watts, Compton, LA.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and we live in the part of town, you know, some of us. So, you know, the area that we live
The
in,
sheriffs are.
right, the area that we live in, sometimes that's where you grow up at.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they so quick to point you out as a gang member, because this is your area. This
Right.
is where you grew up at.
Let me
Where
just
else
say
are you
this. Let me
gonna
say
grow
this.
up at?
That's why I keep telling you, these police officers, they pull young men over. They don't even ask them nothing. They just because they have on a white T-shirt and jeans, they put them on a gang card.
Put them on
Yeah.
a gang
And then they put them in a gang.
Stop to
Then
that.
they put a gang. They put them in a gang database, which to me is, I'm upset with that, because now you're labeling kids. You're labeling kids.
Yeah.
You're not giving them a chance to be who they really are. I'm against that completely. The only way we're going to change that, Trina, is starting right here today, and that's why. Let me tell you, when Trina hired me to investigate and to check on her son's civil and constitutional rights, the very next day, and I mean the next day, didn't I? I was in my car and I went to Tehachapi, California. I went to the Tehachapi State Prison. I went to the correctional center. And let me tell you something. When I came in there, suited and booted, yes sir, freshly cut, with my business card in my hand, Eddie Jones, president of the Los Angeles Civil Rights Association, I want to see the warden. Well, of course they didn't send out the warden, because the warden don't want to talk to me, because I'm about civil rights and constitutional rights and amendment rights. But I tell you what, I didn't leave that prison, did I? I went there. I said, no problem. If he's not in today, I'll be here first thing in the morning. Now, let me tell you something. Tehachapi is